Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Blimey, this is different. So hello and welcome to Junctions and Stuff, the brand new model railway podcast, hosted by myself, Richard Watson, and
Adam Ely from Rail Stuff.
Look at that, it's a bit weird, isn't it? I'm normally in front of a camera.
And normally when it's podcasting, it's you being on the receiving end, so to speak.
Yeah, over the internet.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. So we're not over the internet, and obviously the listeners are listening to us over the internet, but we are actually in the same place together, which is quite nice.
It is odd. I mean, we've turned what is New Junction into a radio studio. There's lots of nice equipment you've brought along.
Well, it's
feeling a bit real.
A lot of cobbled together equipment, yes, but I'm sat in a nice comfy chair. How's your chair?
Yeah, you're in a nice first class Mark IV coach seat,
which I thought was some seats out of a camper van,
and I'm on a stool that was left behind when the previous owner of this unit left. That tells you how comfortable it is.
I did, yeah, so much so they left it behind, yeah. Yeah, I did say I could bring another chair with me, but you said you had one, so...
Well, you're sat in it.
Yeah. Well, maybe next time I'll bring some more chairage.
So I suppose we should tell the good listeners at home, if there is anyone listening, what is Junctions and Stuff.
Yeah, thank you for saving me from the fact that I couldn't remember the word chair. Carry on.
Someone's got to carry you.
Yeah. I wouldn't try.
So obviously, for fun, I run New Junction, the YouTube channel, and you, of course, are the of Rail Stuff fame.
I wouldn't say fame, and I noticed you said that you run yours for fun, and then you didn't say that for me.
It's up to you to put that in there.
Yes. So I'm owner of rail-stuff.com.
And you had the bright idea of calling this podcast Junctions and Stuff, which I thought was fabulous. We got to a name remarkably quickly, but it still works, I think.
I never told you the long list of names that ChatGPT gave me, did I?
Oh, go on.
Well, no, I tell you what, you carry on the intro, I'll dig it out. I'm sure it's on my phone somewhere.
Oh, dearie me. So before we get on, I have to say a big thank you to our sponsors who jumped at the chance to sponsor this, and of course that is Accurascale.
Who?
Exactly. We all know who Accurascale are, but no, a big thank you to them for sponsoring this. It's a big leap, doing something different, and why not?
Yeah, and fair play to them for taking a leap of faith. I mean, obviously they know you because you work for them, and and stuff. But
annoy them is probably I make the teas.
Yeah, they don't know me from Adam. But yet seem to have got on board with this. So, no, thank you to Accurascale. Much appreciated.
And I suppose we should start by addressing the main question, which is why we're doing a podcast.
Yes.
And I think for me personally, it was over the last sort of, you could say 6 to 12 months, I've noticed online particularly, there's a real tendency for negative vibes in the hobby, which is fine. People love a good rant. That's great. But I thought it's time for something positive. So glass half full attitude chat. Let's go. Give it a go. See what happens.
And do you know, just to really point out how much Richard is very much in belief of the positivity side of things. I was suggesting some topics for this, and there were a couple of them that I think your response was, no, we're doing positive.
Yeah. It's amazingly easy, isn't it, to fall into the trap?
Yeah, it is. And I'm sure there'll be a couple of things that we, maybe pick up on some negative vibes from somewhere, or, bring in some of the counterpoints that there are out there. But in general, I think you and I are pretty positive people anyway about the industry and what it's all about. So hopefully you'll just get our general feeling of love for model railways in the industry.
It is a fantastic hobby and definitely one worth celebrating. So here we are.
We are, yes. I can't find that list anywhere. I'll find it at some point.
So while you're still looking, we should probably address to the good people who we actually are.
Yes. So, I mean, you've already said that you're Richard Watson, but who is Richard Watson?
So Richard Watson in full reverb. Obviously, I have been running New Junction now for probably 11 to 12 years at the YouTube channel, building my own...
Seriously, that long?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For fun, as I said. But no, I've been working in the industry equally as long. I currently work as the digital manager for Scale, shameless plug. And previous to that, I was the associate editor for Hornby Magazine. So I've been working with lots of companies within the industry, including rail stuff, previously. So I feel well positioned to hopefully offer some form of positivity in the way of this chat.
I think your videos are pretty well known for being fairly positive as well. Are you a fairly positive kind of guy in general?
I'd like to think so. Definitely, you've got to be glass half full. My favourite saying is laugh or cry. And I prefer to laugh, especially with my sense of humour.
Yeah. We're starting to work out that we've got quite similar senses of humour.
It's going to get us in trouble.
It is. And actually, it's quite nice because you and I haven't actually known each other that long in the grand scheme of things. And so I told Richard this a couple of weeks ago when I first came over to visit New Junction. When I started to get back into model railways several years ago, I think it was sort of lockdown kind of time. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos with my dad, and there were a few or a few creators, as people call you now,
Influencers.
Yes. That we went back to time and time again. Charlie at Chadwick being one of them. Mr. Everard.
Who?
Come back. Come on, bring it back. And of course you've now heard the theme tune, and there is some Everard inspiration from that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, way back, Richard at Everard Junction, especially with the original Everard Junction, which is well worth going to find on YouTube if you've never heard of him before. But he's the reason I'm in this hobby again. In fact, he was the reason for my rebirth in model railways.
Ooh, that's a nasty image.
Yeah. But he is. So the intro is actually a homage to Richard because it's one of his used tunes from the first Everard Junction.
Yeah, which is great. Maybe sometime we should play the original theme tune suggestion that I made, which I think your response was, "That's good. It's quite epic."
It was a bit epic.
And then
this is meant to be jolly, not.
And I was sort of thinking to myself, I think it's all right, isn't it? But then I played it to her indoors, as they say, and she pulled a face and went, "Bit dramatic, isn't it, for a chat about model railways?" I went, "All right, okay, fair enough."
I'm now expecting a full EastEnders outro.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I better not do that because YouTube will strike us for copyright. But anyway, I was saying, so Charlie, Chadwick, Everard, and then there was this other channel that we used to watch quite a bit called New Junction. And that would have been New Junction 1, and then into New Junction Garden.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you. We're going to talk about that at some point. And then I suppose, I did the Rail People podcast with, on the rail stuff side of things. And actually, you were quite an early guest. I sort of shot you a message out of the blue and just said, "Hi, you don't know me, but I do this podcast that about 3 people listen to at the moment. Would you come and have a chat?" And you just went, "Yeah, of course, let's do it." And it was a very easy conversation. Then we got to know each other sort of at shows and chatting and things. And then, I suppose over the last couple of months we've ended up getting to know each other a little bit better and working on a few projects as well.
Well, I think we have the same sort of outlook towards the hobby, the glass half full attitude to it. Which is probably a good point for you to just remind people what you do within the industry.
Yeah, so
you have a real job.
I don't get paid for it. So about 4 and a bit years ago now, I had a big change of circumstances in my life, and took the decision to set up my own model railway business, which I wasn't in the industry at all. I was a hobbyist. I didn't know anyone in the industry or anything really, but it was born out of a frustration of my passion is for scenics and everything that goes around the track. And my mantra is that the scenery tells the story. So I created Rail Stuff, which is a business that sells stuff for your railway. Every now and again at shows I hear people say rail stuff, and I say, yeah, it's because I sell stuff, because you can't really narrow things down to pigeonhole what I sell, but if you had to, it'd be scenics and accessories, which is stuff really, isn't it? So
it is,
yeah.
I think we've gathered that bit.
But so I created Rail Stuff about 4 years ago, and from very humble beginnings, we're making some progress and going to big shows around the country, and obviously trading online 24/7. So
you've got to enjoy it to be able to lug around. I mean, you take your full car and your trailer, and to be able to do that. I've done the odd show with a traditional sort of sales stand, as it were. And it's not easy, and of course you're doing it on your own, so you really must enjoy it to be able to keep doing it.
Yes, I do, and it's August right now, and I haven't had a show since the middle of July, and I haven't got one until the end of September. It's a deliberate decision to it's always a quieter time of year for me over summer, I decided to sort of have summer off, but I'm itching to get back out there. I'm absolutely itching to get back out there. I love the shows. I love what I do. I love finding new products and new brands to work with, and I try not to just sell the same as everyone else. I like to do something a bit different, and bring newer, smaller brands to market, and maybe even work on some projects here and there.
Cheeky plug.
Well, do you know what? Right, we didn't put this on our list.
No,
but
are we going off script here already?
Yes.
God, the listeners are in for a treat.
Well, especially if you keep hitting that as well. That's a great noise. I think we should tell people what we're doing.
Why not?
Okay, so regular watchers of New Junction would have seen a little while ago that Richard acquired a laser cutter.
Make it sound like I stole it. Back of a lorry in a lay-by.
Yeah, it's because I lived in Stoke for 10 years. I just make assumptions. I love Stoke, by the way.
I was going to say, we've just lost a county.
I know, yeah. Well, no, not a whole county, trust me. The rest of Staffordshire doesn't associate themselves with Stoke normally. Anyway, I should probably move on from that. Richard got himself one of these laser cutters and built the Thirsk waiting room. But actually before that, he made these fantastic little coasters and said, I want to sell some of these, but can I do it through your site? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, do it. And then I made a mug, and I'm looking at one
literally,
of them,
yeah.
That's the first time I've actually seen that. It's
that's the
nice.
first one.
Yeah, that is mug 001, and it's not broken yet. Well done.
It's not been used either.
Has it not?
No.
Well, you haven't got a kettle in here,
It's
have
my
you?
prop.
Actually, is that a hot water tank on the wall that you don't use?
Yes, because when I turn the water on, it leaks everywhere.
Okay, yeah, don't use it then.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more tangents in this podcast than anything else. So yeah, so we sold those bits, and then you made the Thirsk waiting room, which I absolutely love, and we sold out of that through the site, and then we just got talking a bit more, and you said, what did you say?
I've said a lot of things to you. No.
Most of them unrepeatable as well, to be fair.
It's family friendly.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for many of the reasons we'll discuss in this podcast, actually, I found the whole sitting down and creating something for the layout so refreshing and completely new to me. I've got to learn new software, etc. So it's just an excuse to tick multiple boxes. So design things for the layout, and then not only that, obviously they'll feature in a video per se, and then make a handful of them available to the viewers, because a lot of people are watching from the sidelines as well.
Yeah.
And they want to have bits that I do.
Yep. So Richard is making more bits, and I'm going to sell his bits. I'm going to sell his stuff on Rail Stuff. At the same time, I've recently acquired, not stolen, a 3D printer, and I'm starting to make some of my own stuff as well. Not taking on the big boys, just some of the sort of little day-to-day accessories that people may need. So there's a branded range of laser cut kits and 3D printed bits that are going to be coming soon, and the first public outing of those will be at the Stafford Model Railway Show at the end of September,
which we're both going to be at, actually, which is handy.
Yes, and I've promised that we're going out for dinner on Saturday night, haven't I? So,
well, depending on how well you do, depends where we'll go.
No, it depends whether I'm paying or not.
Yeah, happy meals all round.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure I can run to that, but we'll find something, I'm sure. But it'll be nice to have you in my home county. So yeah, we'll do something. But yeah, so that's the first time we've told anyone publicly, isn't it?
Do you feel a weight off?
I wish. Yeah, no, it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I've got quite a lot of exciting things happening at the minute, and I'm thrilled that is one of them. So thank you for putting your trust in me.
No, well, it's a pleasure. But I mean, I should point out, it's not in terms of my own aspirations. It's not a case of I want to quit the day job type aspirations. It's just
Are you just clarifying that for our sponsor as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because they might be listening.
Yeah.
Here's my shovel and I'm digging. But no, it's just a really nice way to, once again, you get to sort of meet the viewer. Because as a YouTuber, which is still odd to me, you don't see your audience. So lots of people know you, but not many people. I'd never get to see the bulk of people at all. I just get to see the odd handful at shows and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's odd that people out there are interested and engaged while we do. But
yeah, and hey, look, there's no secret in the fact that you're helping bring some new people to me and what I do as well, which I'm incredibly grateful for. And but it's nice to
practically carrying you, to be honest.
Well,
but I mean,
you're gonna have to be strong to carry me. But it's as much as anything, it's just nice to have somebody to talk to during the day.
There is that.
I sit in my little workshop all by myself, and now I've got somebody pinging me ideas and thoughts and ramblings through the day.
You don't always reply to them. Some 2-letter replies, but you know, I can't be bugging you that much yet.
No, definitely not. I need all of the contact I can get when I'm sat in the shed. But yes, I mean, that's who we are. That's what we're doing. We're doing the podcast, and the podcast is like a 4-episode series for now. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so we're going to trial it, see if people want to listen to it or like it, and yeah, go from there. Regroup, as it were.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that the Rail People podcast is dead either. That's going to carry on. That is something separate. And, you know, I guess you don't need telling how to find this podcast because you've already found it if you're listening to it. But to clarify, it's going out on the Rail People channels through the podcast kind of software. but also it's going out on New Junction's YouTube channel as well as they call them videograms. I think
they do. Yeah. Now.
Yeah, which is
all these posh words for another video. Basically,
it's different to a kissogram, isn't it?
I think so.
You think so? Blooming well hope so. Anyway, moving on. What we then want to do is have a discussion topic in each episode. So what we're talking about today?
Well, the first one, I thought, obviously we need to introduce ourselves, which we've done, and just set the scene, set the tone. And I thought, what better way could we do that with the first topic of what are the best things about the model railway industry / hobby for people, and what do they really enjoy, things like that. Because it's very easy to be lost in maybe the negatives of things, but no. So we put the question out on the various channels.
Yeah.
Lots of people have been sending in their opinions and views.
Yeah.
Which we'll go into shortly.
I noticed that one person found a way to turn it into a dig about what manufacturers weren't doing. I read that comment and I thought, oh, good. That's work then. But what's your favourite thing about railway modelling?
See, the more I think about that answer, the more I find it difficult to answer because there's so many positives about the hobby. I mean, the biggest one for me, I think, is the almost inadvertently is the social side of it. I have made some lifelong contacts and friends through doing model railways, and I always thought doing a model railway, say in the loft, as was an extremely lonely hobby, really. But it's actually turned out to be the complete opposite.
I think in that regard, and this is going to be similar for a lot of the things that we say about the hobby, is a lot of the time it's about what you make it. But as a hobby, it has those options. So what I mean is, if you wanted it to be a very lonely hobby, then it can be. If you want it to be something that is just for you, for your private little world, to do your own thing in your loft, in your shed, in your garage, wherever, then you can do. But there is also a very, very welcoming group of people out there. And whether that is going to a local club, or whether that is going to shows, or whether it is getting involved in the industry of it, yeah, I'm the same. I've made some lifelong friends, I hope. Until I completely...
They're not here tonight, I should add.
Thanks.
Moral support.
Until I completely annoy them. But, yeah. Have you ever been a member of a club?
I've been to clubs. You're going to throw me under the bus here. I'm giving an honest answer. The clubs I've been to probably weren't for me, but I have been to clubs which I live nowhere near to, which if I was local, they would be perfect. Because it's turn up once, twice a week for 2-3 hours, and quite frankly, you do very little railway modelling at these places, but it's usually drink tea and forget about the real world. And it's an amazing sort of escapism and social, I suppose, contact with people of a similar interest.
Yeah. I've not done the club thing yet. I keep promising / threatening Stafford that I'm going to go to one of their clubs. Like they're my nearest club, and it's a big club as well. So that would be good. But I guess both you and I have got similar age children, and it's not always that easy to. And
we're both hiding from them this evening as we're recording this.
We are.
Well.
In fact, bottom of the list on what are the best things about railway modelling, Richard has written.
Avoid the wife and kids. Now, I should say, because the other half will be listening, I didn't write that. That came in from Marcus Lambert.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So to be clear, you did write it on the board, but it was not you who wrote it. It was
to remind me to tell the good people that that's the opinion of Marcus.
I don't think that's true.
I want to prove that because I'll be coming home with you otherwise.
No, you won't. No, I like you, Richard, but I don't think I'm at that stage yet where I could live with you.
There's a lay-by with my name on it.
Yeah, but yeah, I suppose getting back to the social side of things, do you find most of your social side is at shows and events then, or?
It's different kinds. So I suppose the day to day, very active, proactive on social media as you have to be. So you get to know people that way,
Yeah.
which tends to be, I would imagine, the more modern way these days. For the younger you are, the more likely you are to make acquaintances online first, or
Well, unless it's Facebook, and then maybe it's the older you are, the more likely you are.
so I mean, there's that avenue, but then also this is where shows come into it, because you actually get to actually have half decent conversations with
Yeah.
people 10 times over, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Because these are people that, in a different life, in a different world, you'd probably never come to know, never come to meet, never come to talk to, but because of the hobby, you're now all equals.
Yep.
And you've all got valid opinions and interests, and it's just fascinating.
It's quite a welcoming group as well, isn't it? I mean, sure, in every walk of life there are people that are less welcoming or less friendly, but in general, the model railway crowd is pretty open and welcoming to all, and doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't. Yeah, none of it matters. If you have that shared common interest in model railways, or just in railways in general, or even just in modelling in general, then you're going to get on with people.
Which is amazing, really, because we're all from, like I said, different walks of life.
We are, yeah, and yeah, the spread of ages, in particular, at shows and events is huge. You know, from young children all the way through to, people that are I'm trying to think of the politest way of saying old, but I couldn't think of one. So
Older members of the parish.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, but it's lovely. It's lovely, and that's been one of my favourite things.
I'll tell you one of the nicest things I see, particularly at shows, actually, because I suppose you're physically meeting people, is when you've got the family element enjoying a show.
Yeah.
So you've got, I mean, like you at the Greatest Gathering just recently with your little one,
Billy,
going and enjoying that.
Yeah.
You're braver than me. I wouldn't take my two to a show on my own like that. But no, you know what I mean. It's fantastic to see, especially as I suppose your kids get a bit older and you can really enjoy a hobby together.
And that's kind of what I'm hoping with Billy is that he develops a love for it as well. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I mean, he's
your bank account might regret that, but
yeah, he's been given some clear instructions. He's got to be into motorsport. That's a key thing. I don't care if he's into football or not, but if he is, then as long as it's not Man United or Tottenham, then that's fine.
Blimey, we're losing the audience here.
That's fine. I can cope without some Spurs fans on here. It's absolutely fine. I've probably just given away who my team are, but in fact, when Richard and I started to get to know each other a little bit better, one day I just sent you a message that was like, I've never done the compatibility questions, but who do you support? Because it might have been slightly different had you responded with Spurs, but you didn't, so it's all good. It's all good. But
well, tonight's the night. I'm coming out as a...
And that's where we will end that.
Yeah.
What is Richard coming out as?
A Spurs fan.
Oh, dear. Never mind. So there was a lot of responses to the question.
Yes, actually. Well, this is, I suppose, going back to the social side, there is the best part about the internet, bringing to this hobby particularly, is you can connect with people almost virtually live. I can post a question on the various social pages and whatnot, and you literally have half a dozen responses in 10 minutes. It's great.
Yeah. So what were some of the really interesting ones, apart from people avoiding their wife and children?
Well, I think we should focus on that one, because I think someone's going to be feeling the pressure of that.
Ah, okay. Yes, go on. I so hope their wife or kids are listening.
A lot of people actually mentioned about the escapism aspect. I know the world outwardly is probably an uneasy place at the moment, but to have a hobby where you can sort of forget about it for 5 minutes, forget about work for 5 minutes. It's just that seems to be a big thing for a lot of people.
And yes, I'm wholeheartedly behind that. And people that have listened to my own podcast or even seen some of my own bits on YouTube or spoken to me, they'll know I'm pretty passionate about mental health and the benefits of escapism for mental health are huge. There are many different things in this world that you can do to escape the stresses of everyday life, but many of them are unhealthy. Model railways are not unhealthy. Okay, to your bank balance, yes, I agree.
I was going to say,
but
I mean, one of my colleagues, Fran, actually said that was his point. Positive mental health impacts of the hobby were his big draw. Big boon.
Talking of friendships, somebody who I class as a friend, Tom Foster from Tom Foster Weathering, he was the first one to respond, I think. Well, apart from me going, let's go. Tom responded and said the friendships I've made, and couldn't agree more. And it's been nice to meet Tom and get to know him as well.
That seems to be a common one. We've had Lucy Pitch said exactly the same thing. It's all about the social interaction, both online and in person at shows. She's made so many friends over the years and learned so much from others, sharing our model experiences with each other. The best way to progress your own skills.
Massively so. So let's just return to Marcus Lambert, shall we?
Let's throw him under the bus.
Because
just to edit the quote as well, by the way.
This is exactly what I was going to do, so please do it. Please do it.
He didn't say hide from the wife and kids. He said hide away from the wife and 3 feral children.
Yes. To which Jeremy Fulthorpe said, I can relate to that too. So there's
another one in the doghouse.
There's 2 chaps who've got in trouble there, but no, I know exactly what you mean. Just that peace for a little bit. And just to, sometimes you can go and just sit and stare at it and not even get anything done. I mean, I guess you must come in here to do some work on the layout. And how many times do you just find yourself playing trains?
It's horrible sometimes because the time disappears. You turn a train on, just think I'll just have a run round, and that's it. You lose an hour.
I remember.
I shouldn't say it's horrible, should I? I should say, it's the best time of my life. It's the best hour of the day.
Well,
when you realise you've not done anything.
It is, but then you go, I came here to do something specific, and you're running out of time. And but it's a bit like so obviously I'm doing this £100 layout challenge on YouTube, and there was a video early on where I actually laid down the first loop of track and ran the loco around for the first time, and I didn't realise until I was doing the edit that I'd let out a bit of a excited kind of noise as I was doing it, and somebody picked up on it in the comments and said that's when you know that you love what you're doing, is when you do something. But they're right, because it was just such a pleasure to suddenly see this thing come to life. But that's where, for me, one of the other things that I love about this hobby is the creativity and being able to tell a story around a layout and coming up with the ideas and the planning and then putting it into practice and just letting your imagination run wild in a way that you can't with so many other things in your life.
It's one of the few hobbies, I think, where you can, or I suppose few things in life where you're in complete control of your own little world, as you say.
You are
rightly
God.
Rightly or wrongly.
You are God.
Well,
it's not the first time you've been told that, is it?
Far from that, I think, but you've not seen the state of the layout.
I have. It's just there. Yeah. And it is surreal. I said this last time I came here. It's, having watched you bring this together on YouTube for so long, it's kind of weird being in the presence of New Junction. Not being in your presence, that's fine, but being in the presence of the layout is quite weird. But
one other thing that's come to the forefront with this is actually the amount of social interaction my dog now gets because of New Junction. I mean, you think I put in all this effort filming my
Lulu's the star of the show.
Yeah, she's got her own fan club. She's even got her own emoji, you know.
Has she?
Yeah, absolutely.
I need to see this emoji.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to show me later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan Hayes, by the way, and this comes back to something that we were talking about off air, or I say off air, we're not on air, but pre-recording. He said, one of my favourite things about the hobby is when I visit a model shop. I'm a regular customer at Plug Time, Tony's Trains of Rugby, and one of the reasons I travel 20 plus miles rather than use mail order is the conversations I have with fellow modelers sharing hints and tips. There's something lovely about a model shop, isn't there, still?
It's weird, because the comment I have lined up next is one from Tony's Trains of Rugby, which says, it's nice when you make someone's day by selling them that model that they want, and it's nice when you read and hear nice things about the shop. So
yeah.
That seems planned, but it's very nice to have a local model shop, as we were discussing before, actually.
Yep.
To go in and, I suppose, spend your hard-earned cash. Because you don't go to work to pay bills. You go to work to spend it on nice things. And a model shop helps you spend money on nice things.
Yeah, model shops are very good at doing that. Just ask Anne and her red bags. They're
of Gem fame, Great Eastern Models fame. Anne's different, though, because you have to take an offering as well. Sausage rolls or cakes. Or
does that then create any discount on said product? Or
no, that word gets you in trouble in that shop. But
ooh.
This is absolutely true. I have never visited Anne without taking an offering. That's how good the marketing is from her.
Yeah.
I use the word
Jen.
marketing as a nice term.
Yeah.
The peer pressure.
Now, here's a comment I like, and I think this is something that I'm probably going to dive into in a little bit more detail in a future episode. But Adrian Arnold says, you can go prototypical or follow rule 1 and run what you want. At the end of the day, it's your own little world, so it's up to you. And he's right. I will save my my rule 1 plus rant for another episode, but absolutely, it is that creativity and just being able to do whatever you want with your space. It's just perfect.
That's exactly what Christian Seed said. The best thing for him is creating a whole new world, even if that's only a few feet long. So definitely a common vibe, that one.
Mark Ayres said meeting people at shows as well, and it's also nice to see that there are more people open to Rule 1 than I think there used to be, which is interesting. So we will discuss that in a future episode, though, for sure. Dan Everson, so another person who I would very much class as a friend that I've gained through this industry, said his favourite thing is I turned it into a full-time living. And there are opportunities to do that, because it's a creative hobby, as we've said, but there are gaps in the market still.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's so many elements of cottage industry about it. It's amazing, really, especially with technology as that goes forward, or people's level of talent or skill, like someone like Dan.
Yeah.
Deary me, if I could model like he does.
The new Junction would be finished by now.
My videos might be worth watching.
Yeah. And you say about the cottage industry thing is so true. Because when I started Rail Stuff, I came from a very, very corporate world. And it was a bit of a culture shock. Especially when the first person I asked for a price list, it got sent in the post by second class mail. Oh. And I said, can you not send me a PDF? And he said, oh no, it's just a handwritten one I send you. So it was a bit of a culture shock, as I say, but it's great as well.
See, we might actually be booking the trend, because they always say don't make your hobby your job, but we both are in the industry and we enjoy it. which is...
Has it taken
odd.
anything away for you?
No, in fact, it's enhanced it. Because I get to go to more shows, more places that I wouldn't normally get to see. I get to see more. Obviously, with the Cura Scale, I get to see more of their models sooner. And previously with Hornby Magazine, I got to see everyone's models and things as they were coming. And the whole thing is super exciting for me. Proper little kid, overexcited mode. So I love it.
But is there any day that you've had a long day doing what you do for a Cura Scale, and then you go, I really can't be bothered to go and work on the layout tonight?
Rarely. In fact, it's the opposite problem, because I think I'm lucky in the sense of, because I have a intensive job behind the scenes, I actually have not enough time for New Junction. So I'm always craving more time, which is probably a nice place to be. It's probably a healthy place to be. Really.
Yeah. I think sometimes I think I'm similar to you, because I now have too much inspiration. I see too much and don't have the time to then go and do it for myself. So it more creates frustration that I can't do it more. So yeah, I think I'm the same as you in that regard. I haven't lost any passion. My passion for this hobby has grown since I started rail stuff, 100%.
And I mean, as we record this, it's a few weeks after the Greatest Gathering.
Oh.
And I don't
And
know,
it wasn't it? Wasn't it just?
I mean, I don't know why, but that event has really sort of put me on a high about the sector. And I just want to be more involved. It's amazingly addictive.
Yeah, it is. But that comes back to, there are healthy addictions and unhealthy addictions. And hey, if we've got an addiction, I'm glad it's to model railways rather than anything else. That's for sure.
Drugs and alcohol would be cheaper. Just bit of market research for you.
Would they be? Or
we'll find out and bring you the news next.
Yeah, let's go find out in a minute. Ed Doubtfire says, definitely the variation in scales and mediums. I operate a model railway made entirely out of Lego. Fascinating. And I've seen at least one Meccano train before. Most people are really interested in the more unorthodox methods of creating trains and layouts, and it's cool to see how people get around certain problems or create a very specific layout, such as suitcase layouts. They're always awesome. And do you know what? I couldn't agree more. I've seen a few of those at shows this year. Obviously, there's suitcase trains that you can follow on social. And I saw at Liverpool a few years ago, somebody had made one in a violin case. And somebody had got an old CRT TV. Not all of our listeners will be old enough to remember what on earth they are. But yeah, an old CRT TV, and they'd taken the tube out and the glass out, and they'd built a layout inside the TV, so it looked like you were watching the layout on TV. It was super cool. It was really cool. There was one recently where I saw a layout inside a whiskey cask. Oh no, is that the barrel?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a whiskey cask. It's a beer barrel, because it's something like a copper barrel or something like that. It's to do with Burton-on-Trent though. And I've seen it a few times. I
wonder what is the hobby for him. Is it building the layout or emptying the barrel? Because I'd give both a go. Yeah, although if they're from Burton, they probably make the stuff to go in the barrel in the first place. That's what Burton's famous for, is its beer. So, God, you're making me thirsty right now. For reference, it is almost 8 o'clock in the evening, and Adam wants a beer, but he has to drive home later, so he can't have a beer. Yeah, we're not doing that again. No. You'll get me in trouble, you will. I don't want any more calls from custody sergeants. It's interesting. Matty said the hobby helps him relax when he gets time off the farm. Oh, cool. And you think, I would have thought farming's quite relaxing. Is this controversial? I would say farming has got to be probably one of the most stressful jobs out there. They don't get any time off. They don't, Where would they go? Well, it's not They're not exactly going to have a weekend break to the countryside, are they?
Well, no, but they can't anyway because all of their animals or their crops need feeding and tending to, and you can't just wake up one morning and say, "Oh, I'm not going to feed the pigs today."
But I bet that's really. I want to think it's relaxing.
Yeah. Do you watch Clarkson's Farm, by the way? I love that program. I'm not always Jeremy Clarkson's number one fan. I do like him, but I'm not always his number one fan. But I love that program. It is, and I think it's done a lot for farming as well. I don't know how we've got onto this subject, but whoever your farmer man was there, I forgot did you say his name? What was his name?
Matty.
Matty, I hope you get plenty of time to spend on your layout because you deserve it.
I know a couple of farmers who are also into trains.
Oh, really?
Maybe
it's a machinery thing.
It might be. I see the machine. I could get into the machinery of farming, but that's a different kettle of fish.
No, they don't use those. Mainly tractors. But I don't know if your kids have ever got into Tractor Ted on YouTube. But that is for seeing the machinery that's used. Oh, you need to go watch that. It's superb.
Tractor Ted.
Tractor Ted is asleep in his shed. It's fantastic. Oh, and Midge the dog. You talk about Lulu being famous. Midge the dog on there is... anyway. I told you there'd be tangents.
Dion said the best thing about the hobby is it stops him going mental. I think that's doing a service for someone.
Yeah. I think I'm already in that category, but maybe it stops me from getting worse. Yeah. It's a wonderful hobby, isn't it? We get to build stuff. We get to be miniature engineers. We get to be artists.
Carpenters, electricians.
Yeah.
Or in my case, I get carpenters and electricians in.
Well, yes.
To help me.
Yeah, exactly. We get to do it all just in miniature form. And there's no limit to what we can do. Apart from space and money a lot of the time.
So overtime is required sometimes. But then if you could afford the hobby, are you doing it right? And that counts for most hobbies.
That's a topic for another episode, surely. That make sure you write that one down. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether the people who can afford anything and everything that they want, whether they get more out of the hobby than those who can't. Possibly not, because then a new model comes out and somebody who's got all of the money in the world can just go, "Yep, I'll have that." Whereas somebody who has saved or split their payments or really had to put in the graft for a particular model, maybe they get more pleasure out of it. I don't know. But
you could open a can of worms with that, because every time a new model comes out, the previous version becomes more affordable.
Well, exactly, yeah.
And a new model doesn't mean an old model is bad.
No. And I don't think there are many hobbies with the same level of thriving second-hand trade as this one as well. But also, I think we've talked a lot about things like escapism and friendships and all of that kind of stuff, which is maybe talking from a certain perspective of people of a certain age. One of the things I love to see is that it's something that gives a lot of elderly people something to focus on, something to
keeps the mind going,
keeps their imagination whirring and their creativity going, and it means that they're not sat in a chair staring into space.
It's also, I think, as well, a very good opportunity for more experienced members of the parish to pass on their knowledge to younger members of the parish as well, and a reason to talk and engage with each other.
Yeah.
Which I think sometimes we don't do enough of.
No, I agree. And there are some wonderful people of all ages that I've met in this industry already, and I, for one, cannot wait to meet more of them as the rest of time goes on. But can you believe it, Richard? We're actually over our time we said we were going to do.
That's flown by.
It has, but the good thing is that if people have got this far, then maybe they'll come back for the next episode, which will be not too far in the distance. But I made you a promise tonight, didn't I?
We did.
You are on a promise. And that is, my promise was that I was going to bring you a model railway joke. So I'm going to do this each and every time. I'm going to do a model railway joke.
I apologise now.
Yes, please do. And this one is very, very appropriate, if I can find it. It's a one-liner. A friend got to the final of the local model railway competition. He lost on points.
Oh, my word.
That's
I know
how
you said they were bad, but
yeah.
dear, is this the level?
That's probably the best one on
This
that
is
page.
Christmas cracker level.
So I do promise you a model railway joke for every single episode. How about that?
This is like the end of the Vicar of Dibley.
Yeah, there were going to be snacks as well, but I forgot to bring the snacks.
Well, that's a meeting without biscuits on Monday.
So, well, what we're going to do now instead?
What, instead of snacks?
Instead of snacks.
We could talk about what snacks we would have had.
No, where are we going next?
Oh, you mean for tea?
Yeah, we're going to the Chippy.
Chippy, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You see, I'm going to tell people now that there's not many facilities around where New Junction is. It's in the middle of the countryside, but there is a chip shop. So those who are geolocating the unit.
Now, I know we're over time, but I have to say, last time I came here, I was promised really good fish and chips. So we packed up at lunchtime. We got in the car and we went to the chip shop and it was closed. It is now 10 to 8. Are we risking getting there again and they've closed?
Hopefully not.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I mean we're burly men. Dare I say it? And I mean, the sight.
What are you saying, that we just break in and?
No. I was going to say that the sight of two burly men nearly in tears in a rural village.
I thought you were suggesting that we just barge our way in and demand that they fire back up and
start cooking.
You start cooking, yeah. Right, I tell you what, let's call it there. Let's go get some fish and chips. For anyone who has got all the way to the end, thank you very much for listening. And look, let us know what you think as well.
If you want to hear more, we are here.
We are. There is going to be more because we're going to record some more after the fish and chips. So
absolutely,
yeah, absolutely. So,
and of course, we should say once again, big thank you to our sponsor, Curascale, for backing this positive message.
Absolutely.
Dare I say it?
Backing this positive message.
I was thinking that sounded a bit corny, but it worked.
It did, yeah. And let's face it, if the level that we're setting is the joke that I just told, then a bit of corn is fine.
So literally, thank you for that sponsorship, because I mean it's over.
Yeah. As soon as they hear this, we're done. Right, let's go get fish and chips. Thank you for listening.
We'll see you next time.